Hello, Libra friends. I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Libra October 2024 Astrology Horoscope forecast. Wow, this month is really all about Libras and Libra energy. We've got the Libra eclipse zapping in your new paradigm, and we have a ton of Libra placements. Joining this Libra party, we're going to go through all of this. This is for you if Libra is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Libra placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. We're going to talk about things that will pass through pretty quickly, but will definitely flavor this month, this time. And we'll talk about some longer term trends that will be in effect for a while to come. YouTube friends, I'm going to be working off the chart. And podcast friends, I'm putting the chart as the thumbnail. So if you want to have a look at what I'm working on, then you can at least see the picture there. So yeah, wow. In the bottom left corner, all of that Libra energy. Major time in general. And for Libras, we've got transiting South Node. We've got the Sun, Mercury, Estrella, Juno, or Lilith and Juno. And then, of course, on October 2nd, we have that 10-degree solar eclipse in Libra. Very big deal. So let's take this piece by piece and break it down. This, hands down, is a time for karmic resolution and releasing old patterns, complements of transiting South Node and that solar eclipse working in tandem here. This energy is all about the time to let go of outdated behaviors, outdated relationship dynamics that no longer serve you. And after all, Libra is about relationships, partnerships, how we relate to others, how we connect with others. And so this major Libra party that we're having has all of these participants in the Libra story. Every planet that's moving through here, every event like this eclipse is another layer to the Libra story. But the theme is relationships, and the energetics of the South Node and the solar eclipse has completely to do with letting go and releasing these relationship dynamics that are no longer serving you. So this release creates this magical, open new space for new growth and new opportunities. And what we're talking about at eclipse time is the chance to up level. So you have a chance to up level your life in amazing ways, and you're embracing a more balanced and a more harmonious series of patterns and connections in all of your relationships. Now let's talk about some time frames, because they are very important. We started this Libra eclipse cycle the beginning of 2023. It will extend into the first half of 2025. This is the second to last eclipse in the eclipse cycle. So we'll have one more in the spring or the fall for you all down under next year. And that will be it. So something has been in the works since the beginning of early 2023. Something's been in the works every 6 months, coming out, bubbling out. That's what happens with these eclipses. Every 6 months, all of the things that had settled down into the unconscious space burst out. And that's what's happening now at this eclipse time with new beginnings. Solar eclipse is new beginnings in relationships, new chapters, new relationships with new people, or new chapters with current people, and new ways of doing things. Very centered around karmic resolution. So this transit can evaporate negative karmic patterns in an instant. It can help you to resolve past karmic ties, either through ancestral links or through your soul, if you believe in reincarnation, connections with other people that you feel have been around for a long time, maybe prior to this lifetime. So people, like this, where you've had unresolved issues, you can clear the way for more fulfilling and more aligned relationships in the present and in the future. And like I said, this can happen super fast. Then we add the sun to the party. The sun is all about the illumination of the true self. And so we have to also add that whenever any planet's moving through Libra in the Libra chart, it's moving through the Aries house. That polarity of Aries Libra shows up so strongly. So not only do we have the timeline from 2023 into 2025, let's look back to the previous cycles so you can see the things that happened before. So the middle of 2013 through the first half of 2016, we had this cycle. We had this happening from the beginning of 2004 through the first half of 2006. So you can think back to those times and look at how me versus we, how relationships versus your individual expression, how your individual flame versus your synergy with others, how those storylines were woven at that time. Now, if something was challenging at that time, that doesn't necessarily mean that will happen again, because we do have a lot of things going on now that were not going on then, and things that were going on then that are not going on now. So events could have been instigated through the complex, astrological workings. It may not necessarily be just from this layer of the eclipse, but things having to do with me, we, those types of themes are similar to the types of things you're likely to see. So the sun in your sign can bring this surge of vitality, of confidence, of self-awareness. This is a time for radiant self-expression and stepping into your true power. This is a time to embrace your authentic self in new up-leveled ways. This is a time when you can attract opportunities that really align with your core values and desires that can lead to this unbelievable personal and professional growth. All of this relates through the first house. So relationships, all of these stories are about relationships, but this feeds into your individual energy. So support from relationships, people who you've helped in the past, showing up and giving you the good karma of now supporting you. Resources that you have from other people can be showing up in huge ways to add to this this vitality and this resurgence and this renewal. Your sense of identity can be strengthened. How you put yourself out in the world can be revamped and strengthened. As the sun moves through Libra and moves through this first house, it highlights your natural charm, your natural diplomacy, or lack thereof, if you happen to be a Libra who goes to the other side. These are polarities that we work with. Being very diplomatic is a potential of a Libra placement, but also being a contrarian could be a potential as well. So however it rolls through you, it can roll through an up level. This sense of fairness and trying to look at all sides. This can be an excellent time where you can assert your identity in ways that resonate with who you are right now. Because who you are right now may be different than you were last week or, last year or last eclipse cycle. So this is a really great time to assert that identity in a way that resonates with you. And you can really enhance your influence and your presence in all areas of your life. It's a very exciting, invigorating, revitalizing time. Then when we add Mercury to the party, communication is happening. Enhanced communication. Mercury in Libra can sharpen your communication skills. It can make it much easier to articulate your thoughts and ideas with grace and clarity and productivity. This is a time, a very powerful time, really, when you can negotiate and mediate and come to an agreement where you can build bridges between different perspectives. If you're having trouble connecting to someone else and you really need to make a chord, this energy can help you. And again, this comes back to up leveling. Eclipse time is very much about up leveling, and especially when the eclipse is in your sign. So partnerships and collaborations are front and center either way. And I always like to call this energy of a ton of Libra energy meeting in the sky like this. This is a meeting of the minds. This is a connection of intellectual pursuits and intellectual relationships. When we throw Estrella into the mix, that's when healing and restoration comes in. Balance in your relationships, addressing lingering issues, having more compassion or having more compassion for yourself. Sometimes in an effort to have compassion for someone else, you may not be really compassionate to yourself. So that may be the change that's happening right now. But either way, it can focus on justice. It can focus on, fairness, standing up for what's right in your personal life, your professional life, or giving a voice to somebody else, and can also lead to very significant and positive changes in your relationships and your careers. Your career meaning, or anything where you're out in the world. So if you have a job where you're working, it would be there. If you have passion projects or other community associations that aren't related to earning money, it would be there. So now when we add Lilith to the party, we've got this energy of really embracing authenticity. Lilith is offering, sometimes challenging, but offering you to embrace your true self in relationships, to see the ways where you cater to other people and lose yourself. You're like, what, who, me, right? The typical Libra thing, just wanting the peace, wanting everyone to be happy. So Lilith here brings this chance for you to break free from societal expectations, or a chance to assert your independence, or something that leads to more authenticity and fulfillment. The energy of magnetism is very strong too, because this first house is the Aries house. It's ruled by Mars, and Mars rules magnetism. We'll talk also about Mars getting ready to go into retrograde, because that's a big piece here. But Mars rules the first house, which is what's accentuated at this time. And there is a magnetism to that planet. So when planets flood this first house, you become more magnetic, you become more persuasive, you become, more, well, people just become more drawn to you. It's a great time to take pictures of yourself for work, or just to have them for posterity. It's a fantastic time if you have to get something done, or you're trying to convince someone of something, or need someone's help. Their ears may be more bent towards your cause at this time. Then we add in transiting Juno, and this has to do with commitments, deepening of commitments with others, and deepening of commitments to yourself, creating equitable partnerships. This can have to do with strengthening your bonds with others, and in getting back in touch with yourself in new and wonderful ways that really help you to up your daily spiritual and physical practices. This could be a time of regeneration where you finally try to improve your health in dramatic ways, where you pay attention to your water and the type of water, having clean, pure water, your supplements, your, daily practices, your exercise, your ways of thinking, the words you say to yourself, how you view yourself, how you see yourself. All of that can be very, very powerful. And of course, the most powerful new beginnings coming from the solar eclipse. So this is signifying a major turning point in your life, particularly in how you relate to others. And this is an amazing time for setting new intentions. Of course, birthday time, if it's going to be your birthday this month, then you can make your birthday wishes, write them down, say them out loud, and feel them as if they've already come true. But if you are another Libra placement besides your sun, you can set your intentions. Intention, the power of the will, the power of the third chakra, the power of desire, the power of intention. There's a fine line there. Birthday wishes are for your birthday, but birthday intentions, or intentions in general, can be magnified by the sun, even if it's not your birthday. The sun's crossing over your Libra placement. So you can use this energy for setting intentions, for making bold changes. And the eclipse, new moons are also amazing for making wishes. So you have that regardless of your placements. And you can set intentions for anything, but things along the lines of Libra will carry further. If you're looking for more kindness, if you're looking for more excitement, if you're looking for more stability, whatever you're looking for in your relationships, name it and feel the feelings as if they've already come true. I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. We have a magical component of our brain called the reticular activating system. This happens to also be manifestation central. When this is the filter that we have, we filter out things that we tell our subconscious mind based on what the input that the subconscious mind takes from what we tell it and what it perceives. It filters out things that it thinks is not relevant for us. But when you write things down and say them out loud and feel them as if they've already come true, that nudges your reticular activating system to say, hey, this is important to us. Therefore, I will remove the filters between those outcomes and this person's conscious awareness. So then you start noticing things around you that could be for in alignment to help you reach those ends. See, that's how it works. Now, all of the things that we can think of as metaphysical, like manifesting, are scientific also. This is physiological. This is brain stuff. Spirit and science are the same. And this is one of the ways that we can see that. Okay, so as the month moves on, the Libra party starts to shift into a Scorpio party. The Sun, Mercury, Venus is already there, are going to flood Scorpio and your second house. So this is going to bring tremendous focus on finances and values and your financial, material values. This will be a time to reassess your resources, both material and spiritual, and to align your spending and saving with your true values. So this is a prioritization evaluation. And so you're seeing, are the ways that you're spending money in line with the things that you truly want? Manifestation of wealth. Scorpio energy is very much about other people's money, and you have the energy of other people's money in your individual money sector. So anything having to do with money coming from other places or your earned income, Venus here, planet of abundance and money moving through the second house. So there's this powerful opportunity to manifest financial growth and stability. The sun in that place can highlight the problems that are interfering with you reaching those ends, or it can attract warmth and magnetism to that space, and you can manifest more growth and stability. Whether they're specific resources or whether it's more of a connection to the material realm through earth focus, that is all available. This can transform your self-worth, because our self-worth is directly related to how we see money in our money consciousness. And our imprinting that we had from our upbringing can also determine how hard we have to work to make money, what we do with it when it comes, and how stable and how well we experience our financial world. All of this energy in the second house is going to really help you magnetize resources. And the Scorpio energy will enhance the ability to magnetize resources. So whether through investments or partnerships or personal efforts, all of this time completely supports the manifestation of wealth and security. And first and foremost, the clarity about what you want and what you need in that space, which will allow you to make forward movement on building a solid foundation for the future. Okay, so these are all pretty fast moving things, except of course the eclipse cycle, which I mentioned. Let's talk about some things that may really be here for a while too. Now, Mars in Cancer, going to be there for a while and then retrograde. So for many months to come, Mars, the border collie of the zodiac, focused on home and family. So you will feel that focus September, October. It's going to go, move into retrograde. It will stay in Cancer for a long time. Your vitality, your movement, your energy, your ambitions, very much focused on home, family, housing situations. Could be real estate situations. And then specifically for Libra, the 10th house is what will be accentuated, not only now, but in the long term. And that's your work and career. So you've got forward movement with Mars still. It's not going retrograde yet, but as of October 7th, there's that magical switch where it starts moving into the shadow period. And you may start to feel that. Work ambitions may wane, or you'll go to the opposite end and get hyper, mono-focused on work or family related things, or both, or keeping the balance between those both. Mars retrograde tends to do several different things. One, it can bring this laziness, this lack of ambition, or it can bring the frustration that comes from things starting to move backwards when you're trying to move them forward. So tuning in to see where the energy is going versus where you're trying to make it go can be a huge factor in how you experience Mars retrograde. Mars is my ruler as Aries rising, so I've come to really very intimately study this process. And I have seen that for all people, Mars moving into retrograde can give us a break from our ambitions. It can help us to discern and to fine tune our ambitions and dive them deeper into almost obsessive focus on the things that really need to be dealt with. Although sometimes we get obsessed with things during this transit, that is not what we're supposed to be focusing on. And to the exclusion of things we're supposed to be focusing on. So you'll see a movement around of ambitions and energy, and it will be very much centered around home and family and your place out in the world and work. Now, when Mars gets into retrograde, not this month, but like I said, after October 7th, it will just keep getting deeper. This is a really great time to do inner work. This is a really great time to heal any latent anger issues, or if you notice that you pull angry people in, but you don't feel angry, doing work on what that pattern is. There may also be, just a general relaxation and not trying to plan too far ahead into the future. And October 9th, Jupiter is going to go retrograde. So this is going to further support this energy of relaxing of ambitions and just sort of letting everything be on autopilot. Now, until October 7th, that magical day, when things start to turn, the tides will turn. From September 12th through October 7th, it's the time to weave as many webs as possible. And then once it's October 7th, now you start just fixing the webs you already have and waiting in your web to see what comes to you, letting food come to you. So it's an active time of conjuring through the first week of October, and then you start sort of letting the energy show you where you're supposed to be doing things. And you'll notice about this by, if you try to do something and it's bumping back at you, then remember that energy of the tides. When you try to throw something out there and the tides are coming in, it's going to be very frustrating and you'll be paddling against the tide. So this will be the time when, prior to the 7th, the tides were going out. But now they'll start coming in. Okay, so see what the tides bring you rather than trying to decide what you're going to put out on them. And that will be the way you can weather this transition the best. You see a slowing down of things that had been expanding from Jupiter, moving direct, specifically having to do with publishing, teaching, learning, immigration, long distance travel, etc. Don't be alarmed, because when Jupiter goes retrograde, October 9th through February 4th of 2025, some things that had been rapidly expanding, they start to die down and seem like they're just disappearing. But things are usually working in the backdrop. You just may have to wait until it gets closer to February to start to see those things wake back up again. And again, the same thing. If you don't stress too much about it and just let it do its work, then it will probably come back around. But the more you stress, the more you can get frustrated. You won't be able to control it either way. So, it's purposeless. But you may find yourself going back into things that you did before, going back to different countries that you went to before, going back to publishing projects you went to before. Things from the past can carry on more value at this time. And you may get, again, very super discerning with how you use your energy, because between these two planets starting to do their retrograde thing, rather than just throwing a bunch of stuff out and doing everything and putting a lot of energy in all these different places, you're starting to fine tune and say, no, okay, I'm just going to pick these few things and really put the power behind them. And hopefully those will be the things that are already naturally moving that way. And then you'll get further support and not have frustration. So I've been giving you quite a few dates. I am going to give you one more important date, but I want to tell you now while I'm thinking about it. Later on, I will give you this info again, and it will be in the notes underneath the podcast or video. AnnieHelpsYou.com. Sign up for my free email newsletter, and then you get my sweet and salty. Basically, you click on the archive link in the welcome letter and then search for October 2024 astrology. And then that will be where all of the information about the other aspects that I'm, wanting to highlight for you that we didn't talk about here. And if you are a fan of my retrograde tides calendar, that's in my Secret Star portal. You can search for Annie Botticelli Secret Star portal and you can join that, because by the time you're listening to this, I will already have my 2025 tide calendar if you're trying to make plans for next year. And those dates, September 12th through October 7th, that's going to be some of your best time for planning for next year. So if you then know the dates that are the best for next year, because we have a lot of retrogrades, then you can do the most. So I will definitely have those that tide calendar up by September 12th so that you have it for your planning purposes. Okay, so the last date I wanted to give you is October 17th, and that's when we've got the full moon at 24 degrees of Aries. This is in your opposing sign, a lot of activity with me and we, right? Fullness, completion, fruition, drama, coming to things involving the head, the brain, insights, or your physical, head, brain area, an accomplishment, an empowerment moment. And since the Aries energy is in your Libra house, there could be a very big relationship blow up or a very big relationship culmination in a wonderful way. There's going to be a lot of focus, as we should, already talked about at length with Libra energy. And now this is just one more thing because the Aries energy is in your Libra house. All of you will feel that, but those of you who are close to 24 degrees, so we'll say 19 degrees through 29 degrees. So that's basically like October 9th through the rest of the sign. And the closer to like around October 13th, 14th, 15th, the more you'll get the direct hit from that. And a hit means that you'll notice it more, for better or worse. Okay, so make sure you like, subscribe, and click the bell. As I've been told, if you don't click the bell, you won't receive my notifications. And if you enable notifications, it makes it even more likely that you're not going to miss anything that I post. And if you want early access to my public horoscopes, then go to AnnieHelpsYou.com. You will see this page. Scroll down there, put your name and email address in here, click receive. You'll get a welcome letter into your inbox. Sometimes it goes to spam. You can find it there and move it to your inbox. And there will be my eclipse resource page. There will be my zodiac health tips. You'll get my 28-day virtual coaching program, all of this for free. These are VIP perks. And at that archive link, you can search for October 2024 astrology to get my write-up of the sweet and salty dates. A lot of different dates that I didn't talk about in this report of aspects that you will really want to know and how you may see them manifest. Lots more goodies. I'm always finding out ways I can give extra perks to this community. You also get monthly mini astrology lessons. Now, if you're interested in learning astrology and you want something more structured and a system, I have that too. I've been an astrology teacher for decades, and I've helped many, many people get to where their passion of the stars helps them to earn money. So you can scroll down on that same page, click on Up Level, and you will see my Astrology Basics and Beyond course or my Become a Professional Astrologer Mastery Certification course. If you think I put a lot into my free offerings, you should see what I put into those courses. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.